So, hi everybody, and I welcome you all to this interview experience. Adarsh is one of those stellar performers of PrepInsta who has actually achieved not one, not two, but three offers, two off campus offers, one on campus offers, and he's set to secure his fourth offer. He is working as an intern somewhere. And it would be great if he introduces these things to you. If he tells the things about his experiences, it would be great because it's primarily about his success journey. So, Adarsh, over to you. Wear the hat of the anchor and go ahead. Tell us what's
Hello,
the basic
sir,
about you.
and hello, guys. Myself, Adharsh Netha, and I am from Bangalore. And presently, I am a recent graduate of bachelor's degree from CMR Engineering College, which is located in Hyderabad, in the stream of artificial intelligence and data science. And through on campus, I got a job offer from Capgemini for 5.75 LPA, as well as through off campus, I got two offers, specifically from Cognizant as well as TCS Prime. Uh, Through NQT, obviously. And presently, I'm working at Extract Course as an intern, broadcast intern.
So, till now, we had spoken about Capgemini, and if you guys haven't watched about his Capgemini interview experience, you can go ahead and watch it out. So let's go ahead, Adarsh, and now let's the off-campus preparation portion for everybody. And I would like you to put some light on how exactly and when exactly you started preparing for off-campus, how it differed from your on-campus preparation. What different did you do for off-campus preparation and on-campus preparation? Basically, the syllabus is generally same, but what you added for off-campus, because generally it is considered tough, right?
Yeah.
So what differently did you do?
So basically, Capgemini was an on-campus, so I was having all the links and everything, and it was not having a resume screening round. So since it was an on-campus, so now Cognizant was an off-campus, plus it was having a resume screening round. So in PrepInsta and we have a resume building course. So I took that I took that course and used to build my resume. So I was able to get shortlisted through resume. Then later we was having a communication assessment. This communication assessment, it wasn't as simple. I didn't even prepare for it. I gave it in one go. Later, next we was having an aptitude. That one I prepared whatever I prepared for this Cognizant was also useful for TCS since it was a quantitative. As I mentioned earlier, I was uh, familiar with this reasoning aptitude, but I was not familiar with quantitative aptitude. Since I started preparing, like I was having a lot of time, I guess, like around 20 days I was having at times. So I was seeing these videos, and then I was getting navigated to this one shortcut formula page. Then I used to note down this shortcut formulas page, and same thing. I used to give this topic to the chat GPT, and I was asking the chat GPT to give me some 40 questions based on this company's previous year questions. The similar patterns was able to the chat GPT was able to generate. So the same thing, from each topic, I was around 50 questions I used to practice. Within that 15-20 days, I was able to prepare that quantitative aptitude. That's it. I
So
prepared
can
for quantitative aptitude.
so can you walk me through the rounds of how exactly it went in Cognizant and how exactly it went in TCS? For example, can you just list out the rounds that were there in
Yeah.
Cognizant and TCS?
So basically, the cognizant was resume screening, then aptitude. Once you get aptitude, you'll be having a technical round. Technical round will be having this one, we'll be having two SQL questions. Then I was having this. I was having this Java one, a
Okay.
Java cluster. So then after having Java, we have this HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So I was familiar with this HTML, CSS, JavaScript before. I was able to I use these technologies in my mini as well as major projects. So I was able to, it was a basic, simple questions asked by Cognizant. So I was able to clear those questions. And once I cleared, after 7 days, I guess, so I got mail from Superset through Cognizant. That I got shortlisted for interview. Then once I got the mail, I got shortlisted for the interview, and at the next day itself, I got this interview slot allocated. The next day itself I gave. Since I was having an old interview experience, I was able to clear this Cognizant easily.
Oh, and what was there in TCS separately?
TCS, it was like on-site, like you can say like it was basically off-campus, but on-site examination like NQT. You need to go to the center, and it was having aptitude as well as this coding. Once basically other exams like which was off-campus, we can able to switch once we complete this section A, we can switch to section B. In TCS we can't. So once section A is completed, the time frame you have to wait for the time frame also to be get completed. If not, you have to wait in that window itself. Then after completing this one, you'll be able to go to the next window. So I was able to clear this one aptitude. So TCS basically have these three roles: uh, Ninja, Prime, and Digital. Ninja, Digital, as well as Prime. So there is a myth, I don't know. Like if we clear aptitude, we'll be eligible for 3.5 LPA. If not, if we are able to clear aptitude plus one coding question, we'll be eligible for 7.5 LPA. And if you are able to clear both the questions, and then we'll be eligible for TCS Prime role. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who are not having context, Adarsh is also an intern right now, as I had mentioned earlier. So regularly he's being asked in his company what exactly is he doing.
Yeah.
He's right now sitting in his company.
Yeah.
So Adarsh, tell me this: when you were preparing for the off-campus, was project a deciding factor, or was skill a deciding factor, or what was the exact skill or exact thing that was being required by the interviewing person or the person who was taking a technical interview?
So basically, the only thing is, according to my knowledge, what he is just checking, like whatever you mentioned in your resume, are you familiar with it, or are you faking it? That's it.
Okay.
Like if you're
So,
perfectly familiar with it, you will be able to clear that one easily.
so what projects did you write then? What were your projects?
So there was two projects which was like basically done by me itself. It was a password manager web application,
Okay.
which uses your local storage to store the passwords and encrypt them. And one more is basically like a API integration one. It was a QR code generator. That's it.
Okay. So,
So
what skill?
basically most of the interviews, yeah, most
What
of the
skill?
interviews they asked like how do you integrate API, and since I mentioned about API, they asked me about API based questions.
So, what skills were you more focused upon, or what skills did you write in your resume skills section?
So basically, I mentioned only this thing: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I was focused only in data structures and algorithms and Java. I used to solve this DSA questions in Java itself, so I got more familiar in this Java.
So, as you had mentioned earlier as well, while telling me the Capgemini interview experience, that you used to use that 150 not out list, and then you used to
Yeah.
give it to ChatGPT to generate various optimized things for you. So, here also in TCS or Cognizant, was that list somehow useful, or you believe that without that also people can do?
Since I prepared for this Capgemini, I didn't again take a look into this 150 note out. So I just started practicing in lead code. The same thing appeared in the exams.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really good. Also for the HR round
Especially
of
this
these.
TCS one. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially the TCS one. It was basically a array based question and 2 pointer based question. I was able to, and one more is dynamic programming, like algorithm based question. I was able to
Okay.
solve both of them. Then I got I got batched. I saw I got batched. Then after 2 days, I got in I interview shortlisted mail. Then I'm waiting for my interview call.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the HR round that you had
Yeah.
in TCS as well as in the Cognizant,
TCS
what
actually
was
TCS I got shortlisted for the prime role. I didn't get a interview mail yet. Yeah.
okay? So you have been shortlisted for the prime role. You haven't got
Yeah.
the interview role
Interview
yet,
mail yet.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you are preparing for its interview. However,
Yeah.
Cognizant portion has been completed, right?
Yeah, completed.
So their HR round happened. There
The
it
same
happened.
thing. There was a one panel. He asked me like a technical questions. Then he asked are you able to are you willing to relocate? And are you able to work in shift timings? That's it. The both questions were asked by the interviewer. That's it.
So now you've successfully
But
cleared so much.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, go
basically
ahead.
that Cognizant interview was like 1 hour interview. The 1 hour was
Oh,
only technical stuff, and only 5 minutes, I guess. It was only two questions. Are you willing to relocate? And are you able to work in shift time? Then by listening to both the questions, I got some kind of instinct that I got selected into this Cognizant.
okay. So what
Yeah,
kind of questions were asked to you in this 1 hour? For example, I guess you mentioned SQL and things like that, correct?
yeah, yeah.
So what
He asked
SQL
me
questions
like,
were asked?
yeah, yeah. So basically, the technical interview in Cognizant went like this. So he asked me to introduce myself, and he asked me about projects. And like, as I mentioned, I use a local storage to store my passwords, right? So he asked, why not? Why didn't you use your other databases to store your password? Why did you use your local storage? So that question he asked, and later on he went to Java. Oops. Then he asked, why not Java? Why not CPP as well as Python? Then I answered those questions. Then later he asked me about some questions like SQL questions, like DBMS related, database management system related questions. Then at the end, he in Cognizant, main thing is like we have compiler in the interview panel. It was a virtual interview. We have what do you say, compiler over here. So we need to type the question. So he asked me like four coding questions and two SQL questions. Both the he asked me to execute perfectly. So I executed all of them. Then he went to HR questions once I completed with this coding questions.
So if given a chance, and if
Yeah,
somebody tells you that now you have all the liberty, you've cleared three companies with flying colors, what would be
yeah.
the order of preparation that you would suggest to a freshie or a new student?
So basically, I will suggest one thing: one language, data structures and algorithms, and 2 months preparation of aptitude. That's it.
Okay, that's it. That's pretty much for
That's it.
clearing
Nothing
it.
much. Yeah,
Okay. And you mentioned in the last interview experience when you spoke about Capgemini that PrepInsta Prime things you had pinned on your browser and you used
yeah.
to
Now
go
also
through
it's
those.
been same. Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, how that particular Prime portion helped you here? How did PrepInsta Prime help you here in TCS or Cognizant?
So TCS, as I mentioned, TCS and Cognizant, I just prepared for this quantitative. And other thing I was familiar with, since I was familiar with the preparation of this Capgemini, I didn't took much time to prepare. I just revised my own notes into it.
Oh, great.
And this
Oh, great.
quantitative, I prepared from PrepInsta.
Okay, great. So I hope that throughout this journey, there might have been days where you might not be feeling that motivated to study, right?
Yeah.
So on those days, what exactly did you do to keep yourself up and motivated and keep running through those things?
Nothing much. I didn't even take a motivation. Whenever I feel to study, I just study. That's it. Like sometimes I feel like studying at midnight. I'll just wake up and I'll take my laptop and I'll study. Sometimes I might, if I feel like there is a deadline, like I might have exam tomorrow, I'll do a night out and I'll complete my topic. That's it. It's not like
Absolute.
planning everything. If I have 3 days, I'll ask ChatGPT 3 days plan, one day plan. It all depends on the thing, like how much ever time I have. I use that.
So this is an
If we
absolute
plan,
true blue engineer.
yeah, if I plan things, it will not go as planned. For it,
Exactly.
as like I might have 1 year of time to prepare for TCS, NQT or other exams also. I'll not be prepared because if we plan, it will not go as planned.
This is the most honest answer I have so far got because any
Yeah,
engineer who has been in engineering college knows that we all study one night before the exam, right? So we all have
yeah.
that tendency. But along those lines, I would like to give you one piece of advice to all the viewers who are watching that this is the key to crack off campus placement specifically. One thing that you would say that this you should always keep in mind, be it preparing for off campus, on campus, whatever you're doing, keep this particular thing in mind and you'll sail through this. So, what's that one particular advice?
So nothing, just be like keep on applying the things. Like if you didn't get selected in one or the other company, obviously you'll be selected. One company is waiting for you for sure because on campus I didn't get selected for Accenture, and I was like, gone. It's gone. The 4 years of preparation is gone. Then later, I got like a Capgemini came. It went in the same flow, like one down graph, and later on it's going up itself. I hope it goes well.
So it's really great interacting to people
Yeah.
like you, Adarsh, because you guys are primarily my fuel specifically. Because me as a mentor, I always believe that if the students are succeeding and if we are contributing in their journey somehow, that is the only goal we as an organization share here. Fine. So it's great.
Yeah.
It's really great to talk to you and to hear out the things that at your end have worked. And all the students, I would say that three things that specifically I saw working for Adarsh from his both interview experiences of Capgemini. If you haven't seen that, you can go ahead watch it out. This experience as well has told me the same thing, that aptitude, DSA are super important. Language practice, OOPS are super important. Along with that, if you're following any structured guidance like PrepInsta Prime, pin it on the browser tabs. That's very, very important. Whenever you open your browser, whenever you go through web surfing, it would subconsciously hit you to prepare. And thirdly, equip yourself with Gen AI tools. It's very, very essential. Chat GPT almost transformed the whole journey of Adarsh. He clearly stated that if he
Yeah.
wanted 3 days plan, it was Chat GPT. Fine, he straight away went
Yeah.
to it. So to all of you, I'll wish all the best, and all the best to you, Adarsh. And I want that you crack even more good companies, and I wish you crack even bigger companies. And then again, we sit over such conversation. It
Yeah.
was really
Sure.
great
For sure.
talking to you.
Yeah.
So have a wonderful day ahead, and see you sometime ahead. Have a wonderful life, buddy.
Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Bye bye.